Hello and welcome to another update on gold. Yeah, the short-term gold chart, we're taking a look at it together here. There are quite a few options here that apply. I really only want to focus on the shorter time frame today. Obviously, you might remember from previous updates, the thesis is that a top of sorts has formed here on the 5th of June, but so far we really have only seen a three-wave move to the downside, so we do not have really downside follow through or a downside impulse or anything. Let me take you through the options, and I will remove all that just to explain to you what could be playing out here. I've got a resistance area already on the chart, so that already tells us what the initial Fibonacci resistance is. Of course, it could be broken, which would be a clear signal that the market is not topped yet and is going for another upside extension, potentially in a broader diagonal pattern from the May low here, 15th of May low. But for now, especially as long as the market holds below 3,403, I think it would look best with some further downside here, but it's a bit of a mess. I mean, it's a corrective structure, right? So we are still, in my view, in an overall correction. And the correction is likely still unfolding, but what we haven't seen yet is a clear five-wave decline. Now, that is pretty much in line with my broader bullish outlook still, because as long as pullbacks remain corrective, the overall upside scenario remains relevant for new highs, okay? But in the short term, obviously, the thesis is that we're dealing with some kind of a correction. For example, the initial move down here was an A wave. That's the thesis. Then we could now be in a B wave bounce, which might be an A, B, C structure before we go down further. So this is the support area that is really the next key pivot that helps us distinguish between a short-term, at least bullish count, and a more bearish scenario. Because what I would like to see actually is some further downside here to at least fill in this blue B wave or green wave 2. This would be the scenario for a corrective pullback for which 3,186 is support, yeah? Now, in the very short term, the three-wave move down from the top leaves a lot of room for interpretation. In our blue scenario, we could have seen... Yeah, I know this is yellow. I'm going to change the color. We could have seen three waves down in wave A. An A wave can form 5 waves, but this is clearly 3. We might be working on a B wave bounce now and could then get a C wave to the downside. Absolutely valid scenario. Yeah, in this case, the B wave, however, ideally shouldn't break above $3,403. And we might currently be working on that B wave bounce. Another scenario would be, obviously, whether this is the green wave 2 or the blue B wave, the micro count is the same, ABC. What could happen? This is one scenario I haven't got on the chart because the proportions don't align really. Is that we're forming a 5-wave move down? That's technically still possible, even if it's a diagonal pattern. I don't find that a very reasonable scenario. I just want to show it to you. It is valid. That would mean that wave A is a 5-wave move. What is also possible is that this move down forms a larger diagonal pattern, which would be quite bearish, that we're forming a 1-2 setup and then form 5 waves down of the larger degree. But again, even then, this resistance area is relevant. So I think this resistance area captures quite a few scenarios, so it's an important one. Breaking above would indicate that we're extending just thinking, that we're extending the move up that started on the 15th of May and that it's turning into a larger 5-wave pattern potentially. At the moment, blue wave A is a 3-wave move, but it could turn into 5 waves with one more high, which wouldn't be a problem, which just means it's a bit more bullish and that would give even further, let's say, higher likelihood to this scenario I already have on the chart where this is an A wave, B wave pullback, C wave rally. If the A wave gets another high, it's even more clearly bullish because then we can call that a 5-wave move up. Not an A, B, C, but a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be worth, talking about a target. If we get one more high, the way to measure that is to take the length of this entire move, go to that low, and then it's the area. Let's see if we come up with some levels that matter. Yeah, 38.2 fib level is a little weak. So it would be this area for one more high, between just an area for orientation, 3,473 to 3,512. Yeah, that's the daily update on gold. I hope you like the update. Yeah, if you are interested in further updates on gold, but also silver, there are some platinum updates. Check out our stocks membership, in which we also cover additional stocks and the S&P, the ES futures chart, NASDAQ. You can find the link in the description. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.